What's going on, everybody? You are tuned into the seventh episode of the Give Me the Points podcast. Tyler's back tonight, so I'm not riding solo, so you don't have to listen to me for the next 20 minutes. You're going to have to listen to both of us for what I think might be 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm okay with that. But Tyler, how are you? Welcome back. We're back on YouTube because I've missed your face, and I wanted to see you while I talk to you.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thanks for holding down the fort when I was working and then, inconveniently decided to get sick last week. Not COVID, unfortunately, so I didn't just get to stay home and get paid. It was just a regular old sinus infection, but football's in full swing. WVU home games are in full swing. There's beer being drank, games being watched, little country roads, being sang. So life's good right now.
Breaking news. I haven't told you this yet.
Okay.
I'm in for November 20th.
Okay, so Soup will be coming down for the Texas game for the final country roads of the season when they beat that Longhorn ass because
fucking down, buddy.
Because fuck Texas.
It's gonna be great. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Explicit tag on this episode. So if you're not into words that some people find offensive, then I'd turn the episode off now because I've got some stuff I need to air out. I haven't told you about it yet, but it had me all fired up on Sunday. But so this last week, not good. It wasn't good. Player props went 2-2. College went 1-1. NFL, the Raiders let fucking Jacoby Thick Brisket take the game over. It's so easy, man. It's so easy for teams to march down in the 2-minute drill now.
I feel like it always has been. Like, even when you're a fan of a team, they'll have that stagnant-ass offense all half, and then your team will march down at the 2-minute warning and put points on the board. And it's like, why the hell can't they do that all game?
It's just so, like Aaron Rodgers doing it's one thing, okay? Like, when there were 37 seconds left, everybody in America knew they were getting a shot at a field goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why Devonta Adams was buck-ass naked on 2 routes, I'll have no idea.
I think, honestly, San Francisco purposefully did it just to make Skip Bayless potentially have an aneurysm. That's why they did it.
I appreciate their effort. Yeah, but that, I mean, like Aaron Rodgers doing it's one thing, but for Vegas to let Jacoby Brissett just fucking walk down the field was amazing to me. Them letting up the 2-point conversion, I was cool with because we had a chance to cover in overtime, but it didn't happen. And then Seattle couldn't stop a nosebleed. Their defense looked like Swiss cheese. I mean, Kirk Cousins carved them up. And thank God Dalvin Cook wasn't in the game because they never would have had a chance. At least they had a chance for the first quarter and a half. If Dalvin Cook was there, Madison was amazing. Dalvin Cook would have ran wild for 300 yards.
Yeah, I think what happened last week was we had 2 weeks of football, so we thought we knew what we knew, and then week 3 came around and said, actually, you don't know shit because what these teams have shown might not be what they are, or maybe it was what they are. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know. So I can't even remember. So hit the Packers play, lost the Seattle play, lost the Vegas play, hit the Buffalo play. So 2-2, but lost money because Seattle and Vegas were the bigger plays. And then I threw a play out there on Monday night, and the Eagles just they didn't want to run Miles Sanders. And listen,
what his first 20-yard carry in end of the second quarter or somewhere about
full disclosure, Miles Sanders is really good. He's an explosive back, and Dallas's run defense is not good. But the fact that they just let Jalen Hurts just continuously drop back and throw the ball like 38 times, yes, they were down, but they were down because they weren't running the ball. It was just a terrible game plan. I couldn't – he had 2 carries. 2 carries the whole game. It doesn't make any sense to me. You got to get your running back involved early in order to stay in the game.
Yeah, and Dallas is a team that you don't want that offense on the field the whole time. So even if you're throwing, let's say Hurts went off, right, and he's dropping dime after dime, 40-yard passes. At some point, your defense needs a rest, which means you need the offense to have an extended drive because Dallas's offense, don't know if you know, kind of good. We're kind of all in on them, and it looks like we were right.
They're pretty good. Pretty good. What's funny to me is I was actually talking to our one buddy Randy about it, and he mentioned it's crazy that Philadelphia drafts Jalen Reagor and then Devonta Smith and Miles Sanders, but all they throw the ball to is fucking Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. Like, how does that make any sense? Why is that? Why is that the game plan? Why are you avoiding giving the ball to Devonta Smith and Reagor? You got to throw him the ball in order for him to catch it. He might not catch it, but you got to give him a chance to catch it.
Yeah, and like with Miles Sanders, right? Okay, Hurts has to throw the ball, to get it to the receivers. You don't have to literally hand him the ball. You don't even have to complete a pass.
It's not hard. It's not hard to turn around and hand the ball to somebody.
No, these NFL coaches, sometimes they're so smart, they're dumb.
Oh, yes, and we will get into that later. It's going to be a bad week. Not for a betting aspect, but as a fan, for me, it's going to be bittersweet. I'll put it that way. So real quick, I just want to cover some. Yeah, I'm just going to get into it. Okay. So we had a bad week last week. Sure. Some guy decided to slide into the DMs, and all he says was, "Boy, really dropped the ball this week." Listen here, buddy. How about I drop my fucking nuts in your mouth? Okay. We run a free podcast, which then turns into an Instagram page that is free, that we put out our picks for free. I'm not charging you money. We're not asking you to pay us $500 a month. We do this for free. Second of all, if you lost money on the games, I promise you I lost more. So I don't need you rubbing it in that it was a bad week. Your $5 parlays that you played don't have any effect on me. And I'm sorry, if there's guys out there that are playing $5 parlays and that's all you can afford, so be it. That's what you can afford. But this guy to come at me after our first losing week is so frustrating, man. So frustrating.
Plus, you've gone over multiple times the bankroll management. If you can't, if you're going to follow a group of guys, whatever, and kind of roll with their picks, you can't pick which weeks. Otherwise, you might only pick the losing weeks. It's about, like you said, bankroll management for the season. That's why you do it as unit plays, because the goal at the end of the season, it'd be nice to be up 350 units. Probably not going to happen. So you've got to stick with it. And we'll have a bad week. Guaranteed. You ever gone on ESPN or NFL Network and all the experts and ex-players when they do picks against the spread? A good picker, I guess, for lack of a better term, is like 500. So it's about the long goal. That's
what I'm saying. We're 26-13 total on the year.
That's a
66% clip. It's pretty good. We're up 7 units on the year. We're even on NFL. We're up 7 units on college football. So we're still up money. So if you're like I said last week, if your bankroll's $5,000, your unit is $50, or your 1% of your bankroll is $50. So a unit is 3%, so that's $150. So throughout 4 weeks, we're up 7 units, so that's $1,050 that you're up. So we've gotten 20% of your bankroll. You're at 120% right now. That's good. That's really good through 4 weeks. If we can turn 100% profit, if we can turn that $5,000 bankroll into $10,000, that's a fantastic season, and that's what we're on pace for. You got to roll with the punches. You're going to have down weeks. You're going to have up weeks. You're going to have weeks where you break even. It is what it is. It's a season-long battle. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
If you've got a glass jaw like a little bitch and you can't take one hit, well, then you shouldn't be gambling. If the 1 week is going to screw you, you need to manage your money to be able to bet throughout the season.
Yeah, so long story short, fuck that guy. And the rest of you that reached out this week and were like, hey, man, down week, head up. We'll be back next week. I appreciate you. I appreciate the positivity. And you're the people that we do this for. The one guy that consistently messages us, Keith, we appreciate you. Keith seems like a good dude. I've talked to him a lot. And he's got, I expressed this to him, and he had the same thought process as you. You have to ride, you have to roll with the punches. And that it is what it is. And you know what? We're going to get back up. It's not about, how hard you fall. It's about how you get back up.
That's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
That's right. That's right. So this week, we are going to get back up. We've got 4 top 25 college plays this week. We're going to cover 3. The one I have no idea about. I'm not really sure. That's the Baylor-Oklahoma State game. I think we're in agreement there. I don't know if Baylor's offense is that good. Oklahoma State has faced better
their defense has looked good, which is kind of opposite of normal, but it really
and they've played better competition than Baylor for sure. So I don't know what to expect there. I really don't. So we're not going to touch that one. But the first top 25 matchup, big spread. It's a top 10 match, top 8 matchup. Number 8 at number 2. We've got Arkansas at the Dogs. Dogs coming in at minus 18.5. The over under at 48.5. We took the over in the Arkansas Texas A&M game last week, and Texas A&M's offense was miserable, so bad. Arkansas didn't look terrible on offense. The defense looked really good. KJ Jefferson is sore, man. He gets hit a lot, and he's the difference maker in this game. If I had to pick a side on the spread, I'd actually take Arkansas to keep it with an 18.5 here. I think that they can compete. But Georgia's offense has been shockingly really, really good over the last 3 weeks. They've scored 158 points in the last 3 weeks. They've put up 1,500 yards in those 3 weeks. Stetson Bennett has gotten some playing time when JT Daniels took some time down. And he's looked competent. And granted, they played Clemson. So, like, them holding to Clemson to 3 points was super impressive until we see what Clemson team we've really got, and they're not good. Like, Clemson, this is not Clemson that we've grown accustomed to. Agreed?
Yeah, no. 100% agreed. That's college football. I mean, NFL week 1 overreactions are dangerous, but in college, it's really dangerous to act like you know what's going on after a week or 2.
Yeah, so their defense holding Clemson to 3 was like, oh, wow. Like, Georgia's defense, don't get me wrong, Georgia's defense is incredible. They're really, really good. They're probably the best defensive unit in the country. I think Georgia's the best team in the country, but that might be a little biased speaking. But they did let up some points. Was it UAB that dropped 13? I can't remember. So they played UAB. They let up 13 to South Carolina. And they put up like 48 on South Carolina, and South Carolina's got a pretty good defense. So all that being said, I think Arkansas has got I think Arkansas has got a good defense. I think Georgia has got a good defense, but we like the over 48.5. I think Georgia's offense is going to explode again. And I think Arkansas will be able to keep it relatively close. So over 48.5 here, I could see Georgia winning this game 35-24, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so 1 unit on the over 48.5 here. The next one we're going to go with Ole Miss at Alabama. Alabama coming in at minus 14.5, the over-under at 79.5. Gut reaction before you saw the line, what did you like here?
I mean, Bama to cover. And my gut reaction, I'm not recommending playing the over because that's so high. But fuck, it's going to hit.
That's the first thing I thought too, dude. I was like, oh, man, oh, boy, Bama, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, like this is going to skyrocket. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's in like the high 60s, low 70s, and we could play it. 79.5, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it.
Yeah,
even though Ole Miss is up-tempo offense, and I can't bring myself to play an over-under of 79.5. But like you mentioned to me earlier, if it was Pitt from 2016, we're taking the over. that was the lock of. I mean, it was
century.
Yeah, dude. I think their over was like 11-1 on the year. It was wild. They had that. Was it Syracuse, the highest scoring game in college football history? or hit like 130 or something. It was ridiculous. But yeah, the over's too high for me here. So we're going to buy the half point. We're going to take Bama minus 14, correct?
Correct.
We're not going to overthink this. We're going to take the much better team, the better overall offense, and without question the better defense at home. Nick Saban against Lane Kiffin. I think this is where Bryce Young makes his statement to Matt Carroll that he is the Heisman frontrunner. Listen, he has better numbers than Carroll, and Carroll's still the Heisman frontrunner right now, which I don't understand. He's like a plus 150 to win the Heisman. I don't get that. I really don't. They're not going to win 10 games. They're probably going to win 8 or 9 games. You can't give the Heisman. And I've seen a lot of talks like, oh, maybe this will be his Johnny Manziel moment where he goes on national TV and shocks the world. It's not going to happen.
No.
This is like the Miami game. We're not going to overthink it. We're going to take Bama to cover the points.
No, and with Bama, quick shout out to my Gators. Like, they beat up Bama in the trenches. And Dan Mullen is a hell of a football coach. And they still couldn't get it done. You think Nick Saban was happy that they got dominated on both sides of the ball on the line? Hell no. He's going to, he's looking at Lane Kiffin and he's like, I like you, but fuck you, dude. I'm going to beat the shit out of you this week. That's what I think is going to happen.
This is like Belichick when he plays any of his proteges outside of Brian Flores.
Yeah.
This is that's the feel I've got here. Nick Saban's going to make a statement to Lane Kiffin, and I think Bama cover. Obviously, I think they cover the 14, and I think they're going to win this game handedly. I think the defense comes up with a few stops, and I don't know if Ole Miss. I'll be surprised if Bama punts twice in this game. I really will.
Yeah.
All right. Third and final college football game. Good game. I'm excited for it. Cincinnati at Notre Dame. Notre Dame plus 1.5 at home. Over under at 50.5. Notre Dame's won 26 straight home games. It's a lot. That's a lot. It's crazy to think. But they're going to lose. Cincinnati minus 1.5 here. Notre Dame struggles immensely against the run, and that's not a good recipe to going up against Ritter, who can beat you with his arm and with his legs. And what's their running back, Jerome Ford, who's averaging like 6.5 yards a carry. That's not a good recipe for Notre Dame's run defense. Notre Dame really hasn't played a good quarterback yet. Last week they played Graham Mertz, who is the polar opposite of a good quarterback. That kid sucks. And I think Jack Cohn's going to struggle. Cincinnati's got Sauce on their defensive back, All-American, man. I think he's going to give Jack Cohn some fits. So I like Cincinnati to cover the 1.5 on the road in South Bend this week.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And obviously, Notre Dame, same way you would defer to me with most WVU things, I'm going to trust your judgment on it. I also do like Cincinnati. But quick side note, wanted your opinion. I think so. I wanted WVU to join the ACC. Probably still would. I think Cincinnati, BYU, Houston, and UCF. And obviously, they're not going to. You're losing the football powerhouse of Texas and Oklahoma. And however, in basketball, I think it improves the conference. But even in football, that's still. I mean, those are some quality additions. That still maintains a solid Power 5 conference, I think.
Absolutely, and Cincinnati's been tough, both sports. Football and basketball. So I think Cincinnati's a fantastic addition.
That gives me another road game to be able to go to because, my dad and our asses are not driving to Oklahoma or Texas. But Cincinnati, that's another story.
Right, yeah. And I think Cincinnati's a great addition to the conference. I'd like to see Boise make their way into one of the Power 5 conferences. But I think it's great for Cincinnati. I think it's great for BYU. BYU seems to be doing okay without Zach Wilson. The Jets seem to be doing not okay with Zach Wilson. So
he could end up being absolute garbage, and I'll just blame the Jets and not him.
Dude, it's the Jets. It is. I mean, look what Sam Darnold's doing in Carolina.
He might not be a star, but I think we were wrong in thinking he sucks. He's at least going to be decent there.
He's good. He's good. I mean, He's making the right reads. He's being smart.
And he's always had an arm.
The Jets organization is just a dumpster fire. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It used to, it used to be the Browns is where quarterbacks go to die. But I think the Jets are going to take that title over pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, before we get into NFL lines, everybody's doing their rankings, right? So you're doing your top, 5 quarterbacks, top 5 running backs, whatever. Right now, on the spot, we're going to go our top 5 quarterbacks.
Oh, shit. All right. Okay. I don't know that I can give you a number 1. I can give my top 5 because,
no, you can give me a number 1. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do our top 5 quarterbacks. You want me to go first? You want to go first? You pick.
You go first. You're ready. You go first.
Okay. All right. So number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4. Oh, see, this is tough. Really, I
very
put
tough.
myself in the spot here. I thought you were going to go first. Number 4.
They like to climb the sides of mountains. Also, their milk is used for queso.
Yeah, I'll go Brady. I wanted to put him at 5, but yeah, we'll go Tom Brady at number 4, and then number 5's a toss-up. There's a lot of guys that I could put in number 5, but based off of play right now, I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say Dak Prescott. I don't. Rodgers, Josh Allen.
While you're pondering, I'll give you mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously, Patty. Although it's not really a hot take. The
Trevor
system
Lawrence
inflates his numbers. However, he's obviously an otherworldly, ungodly talent. So yeah, Mahomes number 1, number 2 Rodgers, yes, number 3 Josh Allen, 4 Brady. Now for my 5th,
Russ.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now
brain fart. Russ.
Not really a hot take, but Matthew Stafford has never had a good team around him. I'm not going to say he's 5th because it's been 3 games, but is he going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this year? Hell yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. He's been so underrated, and his stats are still through the roof, even with his time in Detroit. He was, I think, the fastest player in NFL history to 50,000 yards. The guy, dude, he's so freaking good. Yeah, he had Calvin Johnson, cool. He had Kenny Golladay, but he never had an offensive line. He never had a 1,000-yard rusher in Detroit. When you're one-dimensional, it's really hard to win games. He never had a defense, so he went super underrated, but now he's got a defense. Now he's got a running attack, and he's got a great receiving core. Him and Cooper Kupp's chemistry is fantastic. Robert Woods is obviously really good. I love what he does with Tyler Higbee. I really, Van Jefferson, he's got weapons, man. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Russ, and then you're right on the cusp. You got Matt Stafford, you got Dak Prescott, guys like that.
Kyler. I thought he progressed this year, and he hasn't.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. Okay. Okay, this one's going to be tough, and we're going to do one more.
Okay.
No, we'll do 2 more because I do want to do wide receivers. Okay. You're going to go first here because this one's a nightmare. Top 5 running backs.
All right.
Not fantasy running backs.
No, I know.
I'm talking you want a running back who's able to, if they run the ball and catch the ball well, great. But your top 5 running backs.
See, I'm not going to factor in pass catching as far as they have to catch a gazillion passes for fantasy. But it is today's NFL, so that ability does matter. I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook. I can't give you a number 1 because, on the spot, 1 running back for 1 game, Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to put Dalvin Cook in my top 5. McCaffrey, I don't want to just think, oh, he's only good because of fantasy. He is a stud. Give me Kamara and Nick Chubb. I know they don't use him enough. Well, that's not true. I mean, you got Kareem Hunt, use his ass too. It makes sense to keep them both fresh. But yeah, I'll take Nick Chubb as well.
I got the same 5. I agree. I would go Henry 1, Cook 2, C-Mac 3, Kamara, and then Chubb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same top 5, and then depending on if he ever gets healthy, fully healthy. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Then you've got the guys right on the outside. You've got, Aaron Jones is probably my 6, sitting right on the cup.
Really good.
And then, Zeke, he shares too much time with Tony Pollard now. He's still super talented, and we saw that this last week against Philadelphia. You've got Saquon if he can get healthy. I don't buy into the Josh Jacobs hype, really. I think he's a volume guy. He needs a lot of carries to be effective. So, but yeah, I agree on the top 5 there. Okay, we'll go back and forth here for wide receivers. I'll let you take number 1.
Wide receivers next.
Okay.
That's my 1.
Yes, I agree. DeAndre Hopkins, 2.
Okay. Oh, boy. I don't necessarily know that he's number 3, but Diggs would be in my top 5.
Okay. Ty Freak, 4.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to just shout out a name while forgetting another one. Honestly, the receiver one's tough because there's so many guys that produce. And receiver is another position that it's really hard to know, like, is it just the quarterback? Is it them? Damn.
I've got a hot take for my number 5.
Okay, go with it
Okay. People might think, I don't want to take your pick away, but like A.J. Brown could be in there. I think Allen Robinson's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. The guy does it year in and year out with dog shit quarterbacks, and he's super talented. I think Allen Robinson might be the 5th best receiver in the NFL.
I won't argue with you. There's so many guys you could, like Keenan Allen, right? He's not flashy. You don't think of him as this dominant guy, but how long has he been doing?
So physically dominant, dude.
Yeah.
Some of the catches that Keenan Allen goes up and makes are unbelievable. His hands are butter soft. I mean, super good. Keenan Allen's up there. Do you have a 5th? You want to go AJ Brown? I mean, DK Metcalf's in the conversation. Amari Cooper, Justin Jefferson. There's so many good wide receivers.
I'll go with Keenan Allen just because. Okay. I mean, like CeeDee Lamb for me within the next few years will be in there. But like right now, I mean, if you got say I had to pick, other than those top 4, I had to pick a receiver to put on the Jaguars to help Trevor Lawrence out. I mean, is there anybody better in that spot than you could take than Keenan Allen?
The best possession receiver in the NFL, Keenan Allen. Yeah. He's a target monster. I agree with that. Like I said, and I think Allen Robinson's really good. People might think that that's stupid, but people also haven't watched Allen Robinson's career. What he's done with Blake Bortles and what he's done with Mitchell Trubisky and, through the short Andy Dalton.
I'm not an only analytics guy, but go look up the Allen Robinson stats of like his, non-catchable balls that he catches and the amount of, misplaced passes on routes that he's open and basically how hard his quarterbacks have made his life, and he's still produced.
Okay. All right. I'll ride with it. All right. Let's get into these NFL spreads.
All right.
Thursday Night Football. Are you going to the game? I know you talked about going to the game. You're not going to the game?
So we were going to go to the game. The only tickets available were in the end zone. I genuinely would rather, as much as I love football, that's the one thing with NFL compared to like hockey. You and I go to a Penguins game, we could sit anywhere.
Right.
I do not want to sit lower level of an NFL end zone and not see what the hell's going on.
You're looking up at the Jumbotron the entire time.
Yeah.
All right. So Jaguars at Bengals. Bengals coming in at -7.5. The over/under coming in at 46.5. Go ahead. This is our first play. We're playing Thursday Night Football again. So
I I like the over here. I think we agree on that, at least enough to play it because Jacksonville's defense it's fucking shit. It sucks. And Burrow looks, like we were wrong about all the training camp mattering. Well, apparently it doesn't matter because him and Jamar Chase look like they're back at LSU. Mixon's looked good. T. Higgins isn't going to play. I mean, that hurts them, but they've still got
Tyler Boyd playing. So
yeah. So and Mixon genuinely looks electric, this year. I think the Bengals will put up 30 against Jacksonville. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more. Maybe it only hits high 20s. But I also think Jacksonville can score in this game, and Trevor Lawrence is going to throw the ball around. But most importantly, they kept it close with Arizona for most of the game. And one of the reasons is Urban Meyer realized James Robinson is kind of a legit good running back. Maybe running the ball helps. So I think they're going to have a more balanced attack, which will help Trevor Lawrence. I'm not worried about his interceptions. He's probably going to throw 2 more tomorrow night. But you know what?
As long as they go for 6, I don't care.
And this is not – I want to make this clear. This is not a hot take saying Trevor Lawrence will have the career of Peyton Manning. What I am saying is a big-armed, talented quarterback coming into the NFL and learning by trial and error of what throws he can make now as opposed to what he could make in college. I'd rather him get this out of his system as a rookie and try to figure out, you know what, I could have fit that in college because that defensive back couldn't close quite as fast. Now I can't. Not going to know he can't do it unless he tries to do it. So,
right, like Josh Rosen.
No, but you know what I mean? Legitimately, you're testing waters and you're on a shit. Think about the only rookie quarterbacks that come in and do well record-wise are ones that, come into a good team that somehow had a bad year or one of those mid-round quarterbacks. Because if you're going number 1 overall, even if you've been hyped for 6 years as the number 1 pick, you're coming into a shitty-ass team. Just how it is.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. So, and here's my thing as well with this over. Yeah, the Bengals' defensive stats, I think, are skewed a little bit by who they've played so far.
Oh, you mean the Steelers' offense? You mean it sucks? You mean it's awful?
And then the Bears. And then also they had Minnesota in week 1, and it seems like Minnesota's offense is finally getting, their wits about them.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't get me wrong. I do think that when we covered this in our first episode, I do think Cincinnati's defense is improved, and I think that's blaringly obvious. But I don't think it's as good as holding teams to 17 points per game.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville can score 20 to 24 points. I think they can. I think they'll lose the game, and if they score that amount and they lose the game, the over is probably going to hit.
And speaking of that, I will personally have money. This is not a play. I will personally have money on the Bengals -7 tomorrow night because Barstool's running a promo, and I normally don't do Barstool promos because I think that the merchandise that they offer is garbage. But for those of you who have listened to Pardon My Take, they have a fish. His name's Larry. They put teams, the emblem of the teams on opposite sides of his fishbowl, and then they have him swim to whatever side, and whatever team he swims to, they bet that team to cover the spread. Larry picked Cincinnati -7. The hoodie they're giving out is incredible. It says Lucky Larry on the front, and on the back, it's got a goldfish in a fishbowl he's number 7. He's Larry number 7. The first 6 have died. Rest in peace. The back, it's the slot machine with the 7s and a bunch of little rainbow money symbols. It's the best thing that they've offered outside of the green jacket for the Masters and then the original Overs Club jacket.
Look, you've always been a bit of a man whore for a good hoodie. You always have been.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, 20 degrees outside, hoodie and shorts. Welcome to Pennsylvania. I mean, that's what you wear. But yeah, it's a super sick hoodie. So I'm hoping the Bengals cover. We're also going to have money on the over, so I'm hoping it's a high scoring game. I'm hoping the Bengals win this game. Something like 24 or 34-21 would be satisfying for me. Thursday Night Football has been good so far, except for last week, but that was kind of expected with Carolina and Houston. That was a disaster. Davis Mills got thrown to the Wolves, and they wouldn't let him throw the ball for the first 2.5 quarters. And when he did throw the ball, he didn't look bad. He did make some pretty nice throws. Houston sucks. Next game. So that's a unit on over 46.5, correct? 1 unit. That's what we're going with here. Since it's Thursday
correct.
night, we don't want to risk too much.
No, yes, sir. We'll dip our toes into the water here.
Get the toes wet. All right. Next line, Washington at Atlanta. Atlanta coming in at +1.5 as the home underdog. Over under at 48. We're making a play here too, right?
We are. We like the Washington Redskins because that is who they are. That is the name of that football team.
Yes.
We like them to cover because they are a pretty good team. They've got obviously good defensive line. Gibson's good. Scary Terry, kind of a freaking stud. And the Falcons, well, I think you went over this our very first intro week. You've been burned by them in the past. That's what they do is they burn their bettors and they burn their fans because they suck. And I'm a big Matt Ryan guy, but he might be past it.
Yeah, this is it. This is the end of the road for Matt Ryan. This is the end of the road for Ben Roethlisberger. Like, this is it for a lot of veteran quarterbacks this year, guys. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Listen, Ben looks like getting out of bed next year is going to be a struggle for him. I mean,
so bad. What? Okay, so I know this is off topic of this game, but I have to talk about it. 4th and 10, right? Was it 4th and 11 at the 11 yards? 4th and goal, like the 11 yard.
4th and long.
Yeah, 4th and long. I don't care what Matt Canada drew up, but the fact that Ben Roethlisberger threw the dump pass to Najee Harris like he's in high school saying, go make 10 guys miss and get into the end zone on 4th and 11 was his heart's not in it, man. I'm not buying it. The offensive line sucks. All wide receivers are banged up. Juju's banged up. Deontay Johnson's banged up. Chase Claypool's banged up. Najee Harris can't do it all. He caught 14 passes last week. 14. I mean, they're going to run that kid into the ground. He's going to be dead.
So, interesting stat here. Let me pull it up real quick. I texted my Steelers friend. So, Najee Harris
Skitty
has 123 rushing yards on the season. He has 111 yards after contact. He hasn't had a hole that he can burst through for 20 yards. Not once this year.
Right. And so you might think like that can be, if you're not watching the games and you're not seeing it, you might think 111 yards after contact out of 123. That's really good. Like he's making people miss. No, these are all 2-yard gains.
Yeah, and it's not ideal, that's for sure. You don't want your running back to get hit.
No. Yeah, that offensive line's terrible, man. You know what? Big Al might have been an improvement to that offensive line.
He probably would be, and he sucks too.
Oh, man. Chuks Okukafor is terrible. I mean, they're just bad.
So we're in agreement. We do like the Washington.
Yes, back on track. Back on track. Washington -1.5 here. Atlanta did get their first win last week, but it was against the Giants, and it was probably the worst game the Giants have played this season. They looked really bad. The Giants' offense was miserable. Eventually, Washington's pass rush is going to have a good game, and I think this is where it's going to be. Atlanta's got not a terrible but not a good offensive line. Matt Ryan in the past 3 years has been prone to getting flustered when getting pressured.
Very statuesque at this point in his career.
Right. And he throws a lot of balls under duress that are not good, and they go for interceptions. I think Washington's defense steps up big here, and I think Washington wins this game pretty handedly. I know it's on the road, but I'm not too concerned about Atlanta at home here. I like Washington -1.5. 2 units?
I think so. The Redskins, the Washington football team, they're good. They should be hovering around, I would think, at least challenging for a wild card. And the Falcons suck, man. They really do. Yeah,
they're dog shit. But Washington's not terrible. I really like Taylor Heineke and what he brings. I really do. It's a spark plug. The kid's electric. And Gibson, man, Gibson's gonna have a game.
Give the man the ball, by the way. Can you give him the ball?
Not with a pass either. Let him run the ball.
Yeah, or pass, but give it to him somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, McKissick is fine, but what can McKissick do that, the former college wide receiver can't do.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense to me.
And they've also got Scary Terry, who's probably the most quarterback not quarterback prone.
Quarterback
proof. Thank you.
Him and Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I was going to say the most quarterback proof
spot.
wide receiver outside of Allen Robinson so far in the NFL. Scary Terry gets it done with whoever's throwing the ball, doesn't matter. So 2 units on Washington minus 1.5. I can get behind that. Next game, Detroit at Chicago. Chicago coming in at -3, over under 42. Okay, so there's been a conspiracy theory out there that
I think I know what you're
this came from Dan Orlovsky, I believe. Matt Nagy set Justin Fields up. So you've had 7 months to prepare a game plan for Justin Fields, and he's got the skill set. He's talented. And you go out there and you let him throw for 64 yards, but get sacked for 63 yards. It was almost like Matt Nagy set him up to fail, to prove a point to everybody. This is why I didn't start this kid. He's not ready.
Yeah, their NFL coaches are prideful, spiteful fuckers, and they don't want anybody to be smarter than them. They want to be the smartest guy in the room. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has the I want to be the smartest guy in the room attitude, but he usually is.
And Matt Nagy is not.
Exactly. And the thing with Justin Fields is him going out there as a rookie, they lose the game. He throws some dumbass interceptions, takes some dumb sacks. Not a big deal, but like you said, he's talented. So to not even be able to show glimpses of that talent and to look that non-functional, if he did sabotage him, or if he at the very least didn't give him a fully good game plan, I can't say I'd be surprised, because that was just a joke.
Yeah, I honestly, and I think okay, so we're not making a play here. I'd lean the over because Detroit's offense has been surprisingly productive.
Yeah.
And I don't think Chicago's defense is that incredible. And I do think that maybe this week they'll give David Montgomery the fucking ball and let him do what he does. And I think that they can put up points on Detroit. It's sitting at 42, man. That's super low. I think both teams can get into the 20s here. Division game, I'd lean the over 42 here.
Yeah. That's Andy Dalton of Chicago's only hope. Yeah, the Red Rifle's going to come in. He might drop 40. So when that happens, the over. Yeah, I don't think we feel so strongly about it to recommend a play here.
No.
But I would probably lean the over as well. With that being said, if this game ended up 13-7, I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I wouldn't either. Next game, we're not making a play on this, which really kind of blows my mind, but I'm not going to do it because the Titans defense has looked not good. Titans at Jets at +7, over under at 44.5. I feel like the public is going to be all over the Titans here, which makes me want to avoid this play. So we're going to avoid it. The Jets are so bad. What they did against Denver, I don't know if it's Denver's defense is that good.
It is good, and I saw them shut down the Jags offense, but at least they put together one good drive. The Jets, that was whew.
They have no run game, dude. He's got nobody to pass the ball to except for Corey Davis. And I don't want to sit here and defend Zach Wilson because I do like the kid and I think he's got potential, but he's looked bad. And I think we're going to put it on the Jets organization here.
And the thing with this game, right? You and I like the Titans to cover this game. We really do. But the thing is, doesn't this feel like it could be a game where the Titans are up 20 most of the game, and then the fourth quarter rolls around, and they just sit the hell back, and their not good defense lets the Jets slide into a backdoor cover? It honestly feels like that could happen.
But it's only 7, so back.
It is only 7. Do you want to put a unit on this?
No, I don't. Nope.
No? Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
And listen, Dale, real quick, I got to address, could Alabama beat the Jets?
No.
The Jets would fucking smoke Alabama.
Yeah, that's all professionals.
Half of Alabama's team won't even become NFL starters.
Now, the 2018 Alabama team that 21 of their 22 starters are now in the NFL.
Would still have gotten smoked because
Yeah.
they would have been below rookies. But yeah, not smoked as much as this Alabama team. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the argument that any college team could ever beat a professional team is asinine to me.
And it's not the skill positions, because if you would have given, could Devonta Smith have climbed the ladder and made a miraculous catch when he was a college junior against an NFL DB? He could have, because that's a 1v1 ball skill thing. In the trenches, an NFL team would they'd eat them alive.
And that's where games are decided, in the trenches. It really is. And it's like, as we get older, man, it's amazing. Like, younger, I thought, obviously we all know quarterback is not only the most important position in football, but the most important position in all of sports. Second, goalie in hockey.
Yeah, Tristan Jarry has me thinking goalie's number one most important.
No, I mean, quarterback's more important. But yes, goalie in hockey is number 2. But quarterback, could Bishop Sycamore beat the Jets?
They could. Bishop Sycamore, that's
probably.
Yes. They would whoop the Jets' ass.
Jesus. So as we get older, we've always known quarterback's the most important position. But when I was younger, I thought running backs, wide receivers, you want to pick skill positions. Offensive line is hands down the second most important overall, group of position in NFL football.
Yeah. Look what Dak Prescott came into as a rookie in, 2016. Now, we're big Dak guys, but it's not like he was a stud as a rookie. Yeah, he just came in and managed the game behind 5 All-Pros or something. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I love a big Dak.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Right in the pooper. I mean, in the that slip.
All right, so we're gonna stay away from this. If I had to lean, I'm leaning the Titans -7 here.
Agreed.
Okay. All right.
Here comes another one we feel the same way about.
I know. This is another one where I just feel like this is too easy to be true, so we're going to avoid it because I got my freaking poop shoot pounded last week. Browns at Vikings. Vikings +2 is the home dog, over under at 51.5. I think the Browns should win this game, but Minnesota did look really impressive on offense last week, but that was against a really piss-poor Seattle defense, and the Browns don't have that. The Browns don't have a bad defense.
Have you seen that clip going around the internet of Myles Garrett?
Which one?
The one where he looks like it's a full speed clip of him rushing, and it looks like a Matrix glitch, like the video glitches because
he's amazing.
I look it up when we're done here.
Okay.
I'm not bullshitting you. Even like NFL reporters are amazed. It looks like he glitches on the screen because I think he plants his right foot and shoots to his left. You can't see him move. He moved that quick.
So he does like the football version of a Euro step.
Yeah, that's what it is, except you can't see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. This game to me is kind of like you said, it's almost too obvious, so stay away. But the thing that's so tempting is the Browns are only -2.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically almost just have to win the game by a field goal. It's like,
but it is in Minnesota, and you got the skull clap going. So
it is. And Kirk Cousins has been pretty damn good.
Yeah, and he's got the weapons, man. Adam Thielen, just a touchdown monster. I mean, God, he's so good in the red zone.
Could Myles Garrett jump out of a swimming pool? Yeah,
I think I've seen it before.
Swimming pool backwards, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think there is a clip of. I mean, there's a clip of a bunch of guys jumping out of the swimming pool, but I think there's one of Myles Garrett doing like a 56-inch box jump or something like that. It's wild. I mean, his
Mason Rudolph is outside the pool and he's calling Myles Garrett some racist slurs. I mean, he'd jump right out. And go.
So that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, is this clip better than Myles Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph with Mason Rudolph's helmet?
It's more impressive physically. Is it better? I don't know.
Oh my God. He's just I don't doubt for a second that Mason Rudolph said that.
No, he kind of. You know what?
He just rubs you as.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next play. We're making a play on this one. We got the Colts at the Dolphins. Dolphins coming in at -1.5. Over under at 42.5. I'm going back to the well. Dolphins screwed us last week, so we know what we're going to do. We're going to bet against them again. We're going to take the Colts money line. It's a +125. I don't need the 1.5. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to regret sick. Colts +1.5. We're not taking the money line. We're going to take the +1.5 in case it was a 1-point game. Yeah, I do. Eventually, the Colts offense is going to get going, and that's this game right here. Miami has a piss poor run defense, and that feeds right into Jonathan Taylor. And I think Jonathan Taylor has a big game this week.
Yeah, Nyheim Hines is good. He's real good. And
top 10 paid.
The Dolphins screwed us with the points last week.
Right, they didn't win the game.
We just need the Colts to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what we need. And they're due, like you said. Things are going to have to click because the Colts don't suck. So at some point, you think things are going to click. They've got a good coach. I know they've been a little bit banged up to start the year, but like Carson Wentz hasn't looked bad. I wouldn't say
last week he did. Last week he
was. But overall, he hasn't given you that, oh my God, why did they trade for him vibe. Yeah. So
I think it's because he got rid of that stupid fucking camo sleeve that he used to wear.
Oh, yeah.
That he wore in Philadelphia all the time. That damn thing. His arm was invisible, literally and figuratively. I mean, it was terrible.
That was the type of thing you'd expect to find in like the Butler County YMCA or something on someone's shooting arm.
Yeah, shooting sleeve, baby. So, yeah, I like the Colts plus the 1.5 here. This is just as simple as strength versus weakness, and like we said, it's games are decided in the trenches. Even though they're missing, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman in all of football, and Quentin Nelson.
It's not your opinion; it's fact.
Okay, yeah, right. Well, people can argue it. I mean, you might argue that a left tackle is more important, but Nelson's a stud. He's amazing. Even though they're going to be missing him, their offensive line is still really good. And I think Jonathan Taylor is going to run the ball extremely well. Why are we holding up a Blake Bortles?
Dale wants to know what the jersey of the week is. It's the Blake Bortles jersey.
All right, yeah. He couldn't get out of a wet paper bag, that Ben. Good stuff. Yeah, you're right. He couldn't. And I'm not buying into Jacoby Brissett 2 weeks in a row, man. I'm not doing it.
No.
Malcolm Brown. So here's the thing with this last game, this Raiders game. So the pick six, and then the Raiders going forward on 4th down and getting stopped, and giving Miami a short field. Miami had one good drive the entire game, and that was the final drive of the game, and that's it.
Yeah, it was like a perfect storm for that bet to not hit, and I doubt it's going to be another perfect storm in the Dolphins' favor.
Yeah. Perfect storm. Vegas missed the extra point. It would have put them up 12. So when it was only 11, Miami was able to kick the field goal and then still have it a one-possession game. If it's 12, Miami has to go for 2 touchdowns. So that changes the entire out. That one extra point changed the entire outlook of the game.
Yeah.
It really did, because they were able to settle for a field goal on like 4th and 7. They would have had to go for it there. If they stop them there, the game's over.
Yeah,
I'm not buying into Miami, man. I'm not. I'm not buying into the Heat. I'm not buying into Jacoby Brissett. I'll buy into Brian Flores because I think he's a really good coach, but they don't have a good run game. They don't have the receivers. I really don't think Jalen Waddle's really blossomed yet. I'm not a big fan of Devontae Parker, and their run defense is bad, and the Colts run game is good. So I'm going to go strength against weakness here. We're going to take the Colts plus the 1.5. What do you want to do?
I personally would just put 1 on this.
1 unit. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll save the 50 unit fucking Megalodon play for later. Next game, Panthers at the Boys. Boys coming in at -4.5, over under at 50.5. They looked good. The defense looked really good. Trayvon Diggs is super good. That kid's really good. Very good corner, which is what Dallas needs. And obviously the offense, their run game is fantastic, man. Nobody can stop the combo of Zeke and Pollard. You might be able to contain Zeke, but Pollard comes in with that burst. And then Zeke gets going, and Tony Pollard takes a back seat, which he should, because Zeke's the $15 million man or whatever the hell he's.
Zeke has alpha dog qualities when he gets it going.
Oh, for sure, and he ran really well, and it wasn't big bursts. It was the Zeke that we like to see. It was 7-8 yards at a time, and that's what Zeke's there for. He should have had 3 touchdowns. He got stopped at the inch line. He played a really, really, really good game, and Dak was Dak. Just so good, man. He's so freaking good, and it was awesome to see him back in Jerry World for the first time since the injury. The fans were wild. So, What do you like here on this game? As far as a lean, we're not making a play. What do you like?
Yeah. So I like the Cowboys to cover a lot. The reason I would do it as a lean and not a play is because I think the Panthers are sneaky. I don't want to say sneaky good, but sneaky decent, at least. Maybe sneaky good. Too early to tell. And Matt Rule is a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
And Sam Darnold, like you said, like we said, is looking decent. So like the Cowboys looking in control the whole game, but only winning by a field goal I feel like strongly in the realm, of things that are possible.
Yeah.
But I do expect them to look in control all game and to win the game.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see Carolina's offense for their first full game without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
They obviously drafted Chuba Hubbard, but I do think that Royce Freeman, the veteran, is going to get some carries as well. Yeah, I mean,
does Robbie Anderson nut in someone's eye this game?
Man, I would lean the under because Dallas's defense is showing up
better than expected.
Yeah, for sure. It's much better than expected, and I do think the Panthers. I know I said it. I don't think they're really that good last week, but I do think the Panthers defense is actually pretty good. So I would lean the under 50.5 here. I think Dallas could win this game, something like 24-16 or something like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
All right, so our next game is Giants at Saints. Saints coming in at -7.5 is the home favorite. Over under stupid low, 41.5.
So my lean is the Saints to cover and
the under
because Daniel Jones is just Blake Bortles with a Duke education.
No, he's not. He's not.
Is he more talented? Yeah. Is he turnover prone in bad moments, just like my boy Blake Bortles was?
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to get a rise out of you because I see the talent that makes you like Daniel Jones, but like he's got to stop turning the ball over in big moments. I
think the over-under here is an overreaction to the Saints against Green Bay and the Saints against New England. The New England game last week, the interceptions were not Mac Jones' fault.
No, the problem is Bill is not – I don't know if Mac Jones can dice a defense up downfield, but he's not
yet
being able to – he's not attempting it. So that just plays in that the way the New England offense is running right now just plays into an under points total, and it plays into a defense like the Saints.
Yeah. So all right. So you would lean the Saints to cover. I'd lean the Giants to cover. Just because
but this
I can't.
Dude. I don't know. I lean it, but shit, I don't feel strongly about it at all.
All right. Final score 6-4 Saints.
Would it shock you? I mean. Two safeties might shock me, actually.
All right, so real quick, Jameis Winston, funniest guy in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of I don't know? Yeah, eat the W. The video. I don't know who 56 is on the Saints. I can't remember. But he's given the pregame speech, and he says, "Take a look at who's next to you," and Jameis gets down and just gets right in the face of whoever the third string running back was. He got right in his face and was just Jameis Winston's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
So next game, another one we're staying away from. No, we're not. We're not playing either of these lines that are showing. So it's Chiefs at Eagles. Yeah. Eagles +7 at home. Over under at 54.5. The Chiefs are 1-2. They are in dead last of the division. Dead last of the AFC West.
As we expected.
Right, 100%. Yeah, I bet them to finish 4th in division.
Yeah.
The Eagles' defense looked good through 2 weeks and then looked miserable against the Cowboys last week. I have to think I don't know if Andy Reid's going to be on the sideline. He did get taken by ambulance to the hospital after the game, but he is home now apparently. He was feeling ill. They took him for precautions. But it's late game turnovers that have killed the Chiefs in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, the Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumble against Baltimore, and then Patrick Mahomes trying to outdo Patrick Mahomes and throwing a terrible interception against the Chargers. Their team total's coming in at 30.5. They're averaging 30.7 points per game. They have played a Baltimore defense, a Chargers defense, and a Browns defense. All three defenses are drastically better than the Eagles.
Yeah.
So
No,
what?
I like that you kind of went out on a limb here instead of just looking at the spread and the over-under and found this, because I like that play a lot.
So yeah, Chiefs over 30.5 points. I just have to buy into the fact that I think that they're gonna be pissed. Their defense is really bad. They let up like 450 yards a game. It's really, really bad. So you might think, oh, take the over. I can't with that Eagles offense. I can't until they start showing me that they're going to be balanced and they're going to run Miles Sanders and they're not going to force Jalen Hurts to throw 40-yard passes to tight ends. I can't buy into the Eagles offense here. I'm just going to take what I think is the safest play in this game, and I think that's the Chiefs to score at least 31 points here. And I want to say 2 units on the Chiefs over 30.5 if you're cool with that.
Oh, I love it. I again, you looked that up. This play's all on you. But as soon as you texted it, I instantly was like, oh, "Fuck yeah!"
Okay.
I love it. I love that.
Good. Okay. And this is another one of those games where it's like, oh man, this seems too good to be true. Chiefs only giving up 7.
Yeah, but
same thing with the Titans and Jets.
The Chiefs defense is not even part of the equation here. Maybe they give us a pick 6, cool.
Right.
But even if we don't have to worry about them.
Right. I don't want to trust the Chiefs defense. I can't. This is similar to the other team total play we made this year, and that was Fresno State against UConn. We didn't trust UConn to score points, so we didn't take the over for the game. We just took Fresno to hit their total on points, which they did, and I'm leaning something similar here with the Chiefs just to hit their points. We don't have to worry about what the Eagles do. If the Eagles want to make it competitive, awesome. That just gives Patrick Mahomes more of a reason to throw the ball. So next line, Texans at Bills. Bills minus 15.5 at home. Over under at 47.
So let me just say that I feel really strongly about the Bills covering. However,
this is a backdoor.
Look at
this is what
line,
I think of when I see backdoor covers. A line this big.
It's almost too high to bet, right? I mean, are the Bills going to cover 30 points? They probably will. But can you put your money on 15.5?
And by the NFL game, man, that's so crazy.
By the time people listen to this and go with our plays, it might have climbed up even higher. You know,
it actually opened at 17.5, and it's gone down to 15.5.
It comes down under like 2 touchdowns.
But yeah, now listen, if it gets to 13.5, yes, I'll take the Bills minus 13.5. But sharps do this. It's called a steamroll. So what they'll do is they'll do a quantity of bets. Not of drastic proportion as far as money-wise goes, but they will bet. So say the Texans were at 17.5. They'll bet the Bills, they'll bet the Texans to bring the line down, and then they'll make the large monetary value bet on the Bills to cover. So they'll have more money on the Bills to cover at a lower line than what they had the Texans to cover. So they bet the line down to give themselves a better advantage. And I think that's what's happening here. I think the line will jump up before Sunday, and I think you're going to see it close closer to 17. But, yeah, as a lean, I would just – I'd lean the Bills to cover.
So we
shouldn't be competitive.
Too many points to play.
Should not be competitive.
No, it shouldn't.
Game of the week here. We're not going to make a play on it, but game of the week, I'm super excited to sit down and watch it. I think the line is spot on. I think the over-under is perfect. Cardinals at Rams. Rams minus 4.5. Over under 55. Go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, my lean, like you said, I think we said this before we went live, like the spread and the over-under seem like perfect. Now, I would lean the Rams to cover. But the Cardinals are good. If there's one thing I can guarantee you, it's that Jalen Ramsey will pick off Kyler Murray on a pass over the middle near the goal line on a deep ball. That's happening this week. God, I hate that I still like him. God, he's so good.
He's so good.
Yeah,
I mean, they're to Tom Brady after the game.
Did I see what?
What he said to Tom Brady after the game?
No.
Super respectful. They met midfield, obviously, and Jalen Ramsey went up and gave him a hug, and he was like, "Hey man, like I appreciate everything you've done for the game. I love playing against you." And Brady was a little bit salty because they obviously just lost the
Yeah.
game, but he was Brady. He was respectful and polite. And he said, I do like playing against you too. And Jalen Ramsey was like, man, just hold on to the ball for half a second longer. And Brady was like, hell no, I got to get rid of it. And Jalen Ramsey looked at him and he like grabbed his jersey and he said, you're the GOAT for real. And for Jalen Ramsey to actually give somebody a compliment that means a lot because Jalen Ramsey talks a lot of shit and he doesn't really tell people if they're good or not. But he's so good, man. Jalen Ramsey is a very, very, very good football player.
He'll end up being in the Hall of Fame, and I stand by that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
And God, he's tremendous. Fucking good thing that they drafted freaking Chase on with one of those picks. And oh my God. Oh, and ETN, who's out for the year with the two Jalen Ramsey picks.
Yeah, and then what they trade CJ Henderson for? Like Dan Arnold?
Chump change. Dan Arnold and a third rounder, which to be fair,
the third rounder is
he needed a change of scenery, but it's a bad freaking look.
Yeah.
Bad look.
All right, but yes, this is the game of the week. Kyler Murray, man, Matt Stafford, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp. It's going to be great. You've got defensive stars on both sides of the ball. You obviously, like we said, Jalen Ramsey, and then you've got Aaron Donald. And then on the other side, you've got the defensive front for Arizona. You've got J.J. Watt. You've got Chandler Jones. So you got Budda Baker back there.
Isaiah Simmons is starting to look like a player.
Yeah, he's an athletic freak of nature too, man. Isaiah Simmons is good. I think it's going to be a shootout. I do. I don't want to play the over, but I want to hope for the over because I want it to be a really good game. Yeah. This will be the 4:00 game that I sit down and I am zeroed in on. It's going to be super good. These are two really good teams, so it'll be a fun game to watch. But if I had to lean, I'd probably lean the over.
Yeah,
I think Arizona could win this game.
No, they could.
I think they can go to SoFi and win it.
They don't always, but if the Rams are smart, they'll throw Ramsey on D-Hop the whole game.
Yeah, but they won't.
No, they won't. They'll leave him on his side, and he'll lock him down when he's on his side, and then Hopkins will get his on the other side.
D-Hop's going to get – but here, dude, it's crazy to see, like, D-Hop's stats against Jalen Ramsey. Anybody's stats against Jalen Ramsey, really. I forget who it was. There's only one receiver who's really, like, taken advantage of Jalen Ramsey, and it wasn't who you would – like, Allen Robinson's numbers were bad. D-Hop's numbers were bad. I got to look it up. I forget who it was. But there was a receiver that actually had, like, relatively okay stats against Jalen Ramsey, and it's not.
I mean, my man got level-headed AJ Green so flustered he got himself tossed from a game. Like that
was funny. Maybe we'll see it again.
Yeah, if we could,
we could see it. Hey, AJ Green looks pretty good with Arizona, by the way.
Yes, he does. He does. Cool. A reliable veteran that's going to make some big plays. Yeah,
I'm glad to see that. And their receiving core, man. Christian Kirk, obviously really good. Rondale Moore, freaking the joystick, baby.
He's wanted him in Jacksonville, but no.
Stop on a dime quick. All right, next game, Seattle at San Fran. San Fran coming in at -3 is the home favorite. Over under at 52. Personally, I would lean Seattle here. I don't know why I'm going back to it, but I would lean Seattle. Over under, I'd say the over because Seattle's defense looks like dog shit, and San Fran's defense really hasn't showed up yet. They did against Philadelphia, but again, we don't believe in Philly's offense that much.
No.
So yeah, I would lean. Okay, I'd say I'll lean the over 52, I guess. And Seattle.
If I had to pick one for a lean, I mean, I think Seattle will win the game, so definitely lean Seattle +3. But it's I mean, one of those divisional games that'll probably be pretty close, and both.
This is a 4:00 game as well, right?
Yeah, I think we're all.
So this will be another good game.
Yeah,
I like having good games at 4:00.
Yeah, give me one. Give me the Rams, Cardinals for my TV, and then give me a smattering of good ones for Red Zone.
Yeah, and I wish obviously the NFL can't do this, but I like quantity at 1:00 and quality at 4:00.
Yes, 100%.
That's the best case scenario. All right, next game, we're gonna make a play here. Baltimore at Denver. Denver coming in at -1. Over under at 44.5. Who has Denver played? Give me the 3 teams Denver's played.
Oh, the New York Football Giants
Okay.
and my Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
And they have also played the other team in Newark or wherever the hell their state is. I know East Rutherford, but yeah, the Jets.
So how many wins did those three teams have combined? 0. Goose egg. 0-9. Denver's defense is good. Teddy Bridgewater is doing a really good job with the offense. But I'm sorry. The Baltimore-Detroit game should have never come down to a 66-yard field goal from Justin Tucker. One of the most amazing things we will ever see as sports.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
Just not only did he hit a 66-yarder, but to put it off the crossbar and it to shoot straight up in the air and fall in. I mean, it was so sweet. Hollywood Brown dropped 2 long touchdowns.
Yeah.
That game. That game should have never been close. It was. I get it. But those 2 drops make that game a field goal at the end rather than them winning by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and speaking of Hollywood Brown, we were on the Ravens under.
Yes.
Still might, but him actually looking like a
decent receiver.
It changes the element of their offense.
Yeah, he's getting separation.
Getting deep separation.
His route running has improved. We know he's a speedster. We know he can burn guys. His route running at Oklahoma was good, but that's against college defensive backs, and he looked fishy the first 2 years. But his route running does look better, and I think that's the addition of Sammy Watkins helping as well.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I know we took the Baltimore under, but Baltimore +1 here.
We like them this week.
Yeah, I don't care if it's in Mile High, man. I'm not – Denver hasn't played anybody. Baltimore has. Baltimore has played the 3-0 Vegas Raiders. They have played the 1-2 Kansas City Chiefs. And yes, they played Detroit last week and they barely beat them, but that shouldn't – they still won the game. Whatever. Let's not forget, guys, they beat the Chiefs 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they lost to Vegas because Lamar had one of his most pathetic offensive showings of his career. So I like Baltimore +1 here. I think they're going to win this game. I like this as a 3-unit play. I'm pretty confident in Baltimore this week.
Yeah, no, I like it too. You've got the better team have played better teams who've been tested more.
Mm-hmm.
And all they have to do is win. And if you just want to go with throw stats and analytics out the window, like you said, the Broncos haven't played anybody, so they're due to lose a game here. They're not going to go.
And who's Teddy Bridgewater really going to throw the ball to? I mean, yeah, he's got Cortland Sutton and Noah Fant, but I think the absence of Jerry Jeudy, I think the absence of now KJ Hamler, and on the other side of the ball, I think the absence of Bradley Chubb is going to be – it's really going to play a toll in this game.
Yes.
Bradley Chubb would be nice to have to help contain Lamar Jackson. You can argue the Mile High thing. I don't care. Lamar Jackson, he'll be fine. He finally ran the ball a good bit last week. He ran the ball a good bit against the Chiefs, and I think that's what they need to do to win this game. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to win this game by a touchdown or more.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the play.
3 units, Baltimore +1, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next game, another one that seems too good to be true, so we're not going to touch it. Steelers at Green Bay. Green Bay -6.5, over under 45.5. We can sit here and beat a dead horse, man. We think the Steelers offense is just miserable right now, but I just don't trust the Packers defense. I don't trust it at all. I really don't.
You want to know something cool?
Okay.
Real quick. So whose jersey is this? Right?
Yeah, it's Blake Bortles.
Does he have 2 playoff wins since the Steelers have had a playoff win? Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He does. Yeah, that's great. That's great and all. Listen, I would lean the Packers -6.5 here.
So would I.
I would, but it's I don't know, man. There's something about it. If the Steelers defense can, so they'll have TJ Watt back this week, which is good because they did not have him last week against Cincinnati. They'll have TJ Watt back this week, which I think bodes well for the defense, obviously, because he's a top 3 defensive player in the NFL. If the defense can play the way they played against Buffalo, they're going to keep this game close, man.
I think that was more on the Bills personally.
I
So
don't
let me ask you something.
I
If
don't
you
know.
didn't grow up being haunted by the Steelers in the Pittsburgh area, how would you feel about this? Because we have it in our heads that the Steelers are this force that they're never going to have a losing record. They're always going to find a way. And up until this point, like
It's been true.
this is the year. I thought so before the season. They're done. Not maybe long term, because I do trust it's such a good organization. They'll get back on track. They suck this year.
I know, but here's my thing. So they went 8-8 without Ben 2 years ago because their defense is really good, and I think their defense is just as good as it was 2 years ago.
But I think this version of Ben with that offensive line holds the team back more than not having Ben.
Okay, they're not going to win the game. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but
look, I don't love it enough to make a play on it because, yeah, it's in my head. It's the Steelers. They'll cover somehow. But, like, dude, they suck. I genuinely – their whole team doesn't suck. But that offensive line is so bad that it makes the team suck. It's that bad. And it's not – they're rookies. They'll get better as the year goes. Well, so they'll go from dog shit to just cat shit. Like, they're going to suck all year.
So – I don't know if anybody listening if they like Pro Football Focus or whatever. They're big analytic guys. PFF has the Steelers' offensive line obviously rated as the worst offensive line in football, but Trey Turner is their number one ranked offensive lineman. And his PFF grades, I think, a 40.5, which puts him as like the 62nd best offensive lineman in the NFL. So your best offensive lineman is the 62nd best offensive lineman in the NFL.
So you're like best looking homeless dude in the soup kitchen.
It's so bad, dude. They're so yeah, I mean, I'm not doing we're not playing it.
No, it's fine to not do it, but let it be known that the Packers are going to cover. But we're not recommending a play.
So the one that's too good to be true that we are playing, this is it. We had a comment in the section saying, I made 1,000 in the stocks today. Where do I spend it? Give me my best value. Tampa Bay at New England. New England coming in at +7 as the home dog. Over under 47.5. Tampa Bay by a fucking million. This is
Let me ask you something.
This is not going to be close.
It's not going to be close. Would you recommend buying it to 6.5 just to bar something crazy and they only win by a touchdown? That way you still hit your bet.
Yes, we're putting 5 units on this play. That is our biggest bet that we've made so far. We're putting 5 units on this, correct?
I mean, I would be. Yeah, we don't want to get way too crazy.
I'm not getting frisky because God forbid Tom Brady go down and have to play.
True. Yeah.
-6.5 New England they're -120 at 6.5. 5 units on Tampa Bay to cover the 6.5 points here.
Tom Brady, more specifically.
Yes. So, dude, here's my thing. There is nobody that holds grudges in sports currently. Kobe Bryant was hands down the number one grudge holder. Then there's Tom Brady. Dude, Belichick, when Brady left, Brady reached out to him and wanted to meet in person to have, lunch or whatever to say their final goodbyes. Belichick said, I'm too busy. I'm not available, and told him goodbye on the phone and wished him the best of luck. If you think that's not sitting with Tom Brady, yes, he won the Super Bowl last year. He proved his point, but he needs to prove it against Bill, and he's going to, man. And Gronk and AB, I know it was a short stint with New England, but the shit that went on with Antonio Brown in New England, all 3 of those guys have a point to prove against Bill Belichick. And I'm sorry, man, there's no possible way New England keeps this game within 6.5 points. There's no fathomable. It's not happening.
Let me flip it to the other side of the ball too. What is a rookie quarterback's worst nightmare? It's pass rush, right? It's guys in his face, and Bucks can get after it, man.
Sure can.
It's Tom Brady is. I'm convinced it's going to sound like a home game for him. I know you're a Patriots fan. Yeah. You don't live in the Boston area. I have a couple Marine, Jag-off buddies that are from the Boston area. They literally, I don't want to say they became Bucks fans, but
no.
you got to think people our age, you've never known a Patriots because you don't know teams when you're 5 years old. You've never known a Patriots without Tom Brady until last year.
Right.
They will be rooting for him more than
100%.
they'll be rooting for the Patriots.
Like I told you, so I originally had tickets and a hotel booked to this game. Some stuff came up in life that my mom and I were actually going to go. We had to cancel. We had to get rid of the tickets. We had to cancel our hotel room. You asked me what would I be like who would I cheer for? I would be cheering for New England. But I can tell you this as a man who has gotten emotional watching Marley and me. I promise you, when Brady gets that, and how convenient is it that he needs 69 yards to become the all-time leading passer?
Gronk's got to catch it, right?
100%. It's going to Gronk. I promise you, I would have gotten emotional if I was there. He's going to pass Drew Brees. He's going to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history. And he's going to do it in New England, where he built his career. It's going to be, dude. He's got, and he's coming off a loss. I mean,
he might do it on the first drive of the game, and they're
going to kill him.
Record-breaking pass is probably going to be a touchdown to Gronk.
Yeah. And I hope he fucking Gronk spikes it off Belichick's head.
Yeah.
I'm so. It's crazy. So Brady, Gronk, and AB are going to win this game, and they're going to be able to go out and party in New England the way they couldn't for all those years. Obviously, AB not all those years. But Brady and Gronk are going to go out, and they're going to party in New England the way they weren't allowed to for.
Brady will call all his Boston sports buddies from, either the Celtics or the Bruins. I'm sure he's made friends with people.
For sure.
All the other celebrities that are flying into, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a competitive game, which sucks because I want it to be. It's a Sunday night football game, but it's gonna be good to watch for the historic moment for what's going on. It's gonna be bad. So yeah, 5 units on Tampa Bay minus 6.5 here. I'm already counting that money.
Yeah.
I normally when I make a bet I can rationalize the other side of it.
I can't here.
I can't. I really get. It's not. I can't. Oh, man, I wish I was at that game. I wish I was at the game. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be sweet. The place is gonna be super loud. But yeah, Mac Jones is the interceptions were not his fault, but at the same point in time, Tampa Bay's defense, yeah, they have a banged up secondary right now. That's not a worry. Because you're not going against an elite or even a top 15 quarterback in the NFL this week. So they can have some injuries in the secondary and still get away with this game.
Yeah, because the only snowball's chance in hell is to try to go big on offense and match the Bucs, but
right.
He's not letting Mac Jones, the rookie, do that. He doesn't want to scar him. He doesn't want Mac Jones to start throwing 3 interception games like Trevor Lawrence is doing, which, like I said, I'm fine with, but that's not their game plan for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I could see, honestly, if this gets out of hand early, I could see New England laying down and just going with a really conservative game plan.
Yeah, literally.
You don't want to ruin your rookie quarterback's confidence. He already had a rough week last week with the interceptions. You don't want to do any more damage than is already done if this kid is going to be your future.
Yeah.
And the other thing Brady's got, like they asked him, they said, what's your thoughts on New England's game plan for you? He said, I know their game plan. Like I know their schedule. Yeah. I know their defense. I know their walkthroughs. I know what they're going to do pregame. I know it all. I know exactly how they're going to prepare for this game. So you don't think that I can prepare for it? Tampa Bay all right, in all reality, I'm going to pick a score here. I'm going to say Tampa Bay 41-13.
Yeah.
Absolute murder.
Somewhere between 34 and 41. Patriots somewhere between 10 and 17.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolute just slaughter. All right. We're going to rifle. Oh, this is the last game, the Monday night game. Raiders at Chargers. Chargers -3 is the home favorite. Over under at 52.5. I know you like the Chargers here. I personally don't want to bet against the Raiders because they just keep getting it done. I think that Chucky's finally got something going. That pass rush is really good. And I don't believe in, and I've said this now 3 weeks in a row, the Chargers' red zone efficiency is a problem. They don't have a legit run game. So I don't want to touch this, but I understand why you like the Chargers -3. let everybody know what you like here.
No, I do like the Chargers -3. I think at some point the Raiders. I don't want to say luck because they look good, but I'll say that if you know what I mean. Their luck has to run out. I think the Chargers look that they were one of those teams we thought would take the next step. They look good. That's a playoff team. Justin Herbert is a freaking stud. They're at home, prime time. And then again, this isn't Raiders hate. I just think the Chargers are a better team. However, just like you said, you're not going to touch it, but you could see why I'd want to. I would lean, Chargers to cover, but I also completely see your point of not wanting to throw, our weight behind it and put a unit on it or anything. But my lean would be Chargers. I just think they're a better team across the board.
All right. Yep, my dog just woke up. He's reached his limit. We're at an hour and 25 minutes. I don't know if you heard him shaking his ears, but it sounds like a machine gun. So just to run back through these, as far as college plays go, we're going, oh boy, okay, here we go. Arkansas at Georgia, over under at 48.5. We're doing 1 unit on the over 48.5 in that game. Cincinnati at Notre Dame. Cincinnati as a 1.5 point favorite on the road. Notre Dame 26 straight home wins. That ends on Saturday. Cincinnati -1.5. 1 unit on that. Ole Miss at Bama. Bama coming in at -14.5. We're going to buy the hook. We're going to buy it down to 14. We're taking Bama to cover 14 points in what should be a high-scoring affair between two Heisman frontrunners. And then as far as NFL goes, Thursday night game, we've got your Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. The over-under coming in at 46.5. We're going to take the over 46.5 for 1 unit. Washington at Atlanta. Washington, just like Cincinnati, 1.5 point favorite on the road. We're going to take Washington -1.5 for 2 units, correct?
Correct.
Okay, 2 units on Washington, -1.5 at Atlanta. Then we go to the Colts at the Dolphins. The Colts coming in at +1.5 as the road dog. We're going to go 1 unit on the Colts +1.5.
Yep.
And then we've got the Chiefs at the Eagles. Eagles are +7 at home, over under 54.5, but we're going the Chiefs team total over 30.5, 2 units.
Yes.
Okay. 2 units on the Chiefs over 30.5 points. Let's keep going. Baltimore at Denver. Baltimore getting a point on the road. It's going to be a 3 unit play. So I'm going to suggest we buy Baltimore to +1.5, just in case it is a 1 point game. Baltimore +1.5 at a -120. We're going to do 3 units on Baltimore +1.5 at Denver. And then the last play of the week, the Sunday night game, Tampa.
Lock of the season.
Dude, I don't like using that word, but I'll be damned. I'll be damned if New England. Hey, listen here. If I lose 5 units because New England keeps this game close, so be it.
Yeah.
So you know what? So be it. Tampa buying the half point, 6.5, 5 units. Tampa -6.5, in what should be just pure unadulterated sodomy. I mean, it's going to be bad.
If you turn on your TV and you think you're on Pornhub, you're not. You're just on.
It's just Tom Brady taking advantage of Bill Belichick. So those are our plays. What's that a total of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 14, 17 units. That's a lot up for grabs this week, guys.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Because you know what? We're gonna win.
Yes.
Last week was an anomaly. We're gonna win this week.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad that I was able to tell you face to face that I will be in attendance November 20th. WVU, Texas in the house. Dude, it's gonna be super sick. I know
we're running short on time. There's nothing. I promise you, there's nothing like a fucking Mountaineer tailgate and a Mountaineer home game. There's a reason that stadium only has 60,000. There's a reason it's among the loud. It's as loud as 100,000 seater. It's.
You know what? I will be the judge of that because I went to the night game at the Big House when Notre Dame was at Michigan. So I will be the judge of if it's as loud as 100,000.
All right.
But yeah, I believe you. And it's here's the thing: it's not WVU versus Kansas State. It's WVU versus Texas. So I know it's going to be loud. I know
realistically it's going to be the last home game against Texas, and you know, because next year they'll be away, and then I bet you they buy out early. So
yeah, that's sweet. Good. I'm glad I'll be in attendance for it. It's going to be great. If any of you live in the West Virginia area and you're going to be at the game, find us. You know, I know November 20th is a far way away. We got a month and a half. I will, you know, mention this again. But if you find us, we'll buy you a beer.
Shit, so, don't even have to. Just show up in the parking lot and they'll get handed beer and moonshine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm super pumped for it. So those are our plays for this week. We're going to do some more player props this week. Player props this week. Those will be posted to the Instagram story. I'll try and get them up before 12:30. I know they were late last week, but we still got them up in time. So there will be some more player props. And hopefully I get my Lucky Larry hoodie tomorrow night. Super excited. I hope I get that freaking hoodie, man. But that's all we've got for you guys. Do you have any parting words?
No, just happy to be back. I'm ready to rock and roll and, you know, make us and make everyone else some fucking money this week, huh?
Yeah, dude. We need it because I need it. I can't wait. Dude, if we go plus 15 units, I cannot wait to message that fuck boy that slid in the DMs. I can't wait. I'm not going to put his name out. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
If he comes at me again.
Tom Brady holds a grudge. Fucking Soup holds a grudge.
Yeah, for sure. If he comes at me again, yeah, we're gonna do his little Instagram handle here on the ticker, and yeah, he's gonna get blown up. So we appreciate you guys and everything you do. The only people we appreciate more are Punchless Media. The boys over at Punchless MMA had an episode that came out last night. Dale and Trey, boys, go back and listen to their episode from last week. I know the event's already over, but you got to hear some of the shit that comes out of Trey's mouth. It's outlandish. And Dale matched him this week. I know you're not a big MMA guy, but Nick Diaz fought last weekend. And Dale took this hot take that Nick Diaz's boxing, even, you know, chubby and slow and not sober, that he would beat Conor McGregor. And Dale, I love you. You're my brother. But come on, man. Come on. You can't be saying that kind of stuff. That's wild. Here's the thing. Who would quit first? That's the question. Conor or Diaz? But that's all we've got for you guys. Again, go listen to Punchless MMA. Subscribe, rate on iTunes. We're going to do a giveaway here soon because we need you guys to go and subscribe and give us ratings on iTunes. They do beer giveaways, and we're going to do the same. And we're going to do more of this top 5 thing. I want to do more stuff where we debate each other. You know, it's nice that we agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm here. I like to argue, man. That's what I was made for. So until next week, guys, Tyler, I will talk to you later. And good fortune to everybody. And guy in the DMs, eat shit.
Fuck you.